If you look at the coast of Southern California, you'll find some of the most insanely expensive and densely populated real estate on Earth. Tens of millions of people are packed tightly against the Pacific Ocean right here. But look just 20 miles offshore, and you'll see an 8-island archipelago with perfect Mediterranean weather, pristine beaches, and almost no human beings. How did a pristine island chain sitting right next to America's most aggressive real estate market manage to stay completely wild and empty? Why aren't these islands covered in billion-dollar mega mansions and luxury resorts? The answer is an incredible geographic thriller involving sunken mountain ranges, ancient mariners, secret military bombardment zones, and a massive billion-dollar conservation battle. The Channel Islands stretch across 160 miles within what geographers call the Southern California Bight. Here, freezing currents from Alaska collide with warm equatorial waters, trapping the islands in a localized marine climate of thick, mysterious fog layers and unpredictable winds. At first glance, you might assume these islands simply broke off from the mainland, but their real origin is far more violent. Millions of years ago, the Pacific tectonic plate collided with the North American plate, caught a massive block of the Earth's crust, spun it a full 90 degrees, and sank parts of it beneath the sea. The northern islands are literally the surviving peaks of a submerged mountain range. The southern islands, on the other hand, were violently forced straight up from the deep ocean floor by volcanic activity and tectonic uplift. Because these islands were never connected to the mainland, even during the lowest sea levels of the Ice Age, any wildlife that reached them evolved in total isolation. They became the Galápagos of North America, home to the tiny island fox, which shrank to the size of a house cat just to survive on scarce resources. Yet, this biological fortress came with severe challenges: sheer volcanic cliffs, unpredictable currents, and almost no reliable sources of fresh water. But against all odds, humans conquered it far earlier than almost anywhere else in the Americas. In 1959, archaeologists on Santa Rosa Island unearthed the 13,000-year-old remains of Arlington Springs Man. This groundbreaking discovery proved that the first Americans didn't just walk across a land bridge. They were skilled mariners navigating treacherous Pacific waters. For thousands of years, the Chumash and Tongva peoples thrived here, building advanced plank canoes called tomals, sealed tightly with natural asphalt seeping from the ocean floor. They fished the kelp forests and ran an empire of maritime trade. Everything changed in 1542 with the arrival of Spanish explorers. European diseases and forced relocations to mainland missions decimated the native population. By the 1830s, thousands of years of human history were erased, and the Channel Islands were completely emptied. Following Mexico's independence, the islands were turned into massive private ranches. Tens of thousands of sheep, cattle, and feral pigs were introduced. With no natural predators, they stripped the vegetation bare, turning this biological wonderland into a barren, dusty wasteland. Only one island escaped total ruin: Santa Catalina. In 1919, chewing gum magnate William Wrigley Jr. bought the island and invested millions to build a glamorous Mediterranean escape. Hollywood stars and socialites flocked to the town of Avalon, proving that luxury island living was viable right off the California coast. So why didn't real estate developers cover the other 7 islands in mega resorts and private villas? The first massive barrier came from the United States military. During World War II, the Navy seized San Nicolas and San Clemente, turning them into strategic radar bases and leave-fire bombardment zones littered with unexploded ordnance, permanently locking them away from developers. The northern islands presented an engineering nightmare: inaccessible vertical cliffs, violent swells, and zero sustainable fresh water. But by the 1970s, as mainland prices skyrocketed, developers began drawing serious blueprints for island subdivisions and private airports. Just before bulldozers could arrive, conservationists and the National Park Service intervened in a frantic legal race. In 1980, Congress officially established Channel Islands National Park, buying out the ranches, removing invasive livestock, and returning the land to its prehistoric wild state. Even on Catalina, the Wrigley family deeded 88% of the island to a conservation trust, legally banning commercial expansion forever. Through a rare cocktail of hostile geography, military takeovers, water scarcity, and historic conservation victories, the Channel Islands survived America's biggest real estate boom. They stand today as a breathtaking, wild monument to what California looked like long before the mega cities took over. Would you have preferred these islands to be luxury resorts, or was keeping them wild the best decision ever made? Drop your thoughts below, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives.